بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Alhamdulillah, we have come to the end of the lesson, lesson 6. I hope all the lessons before has helped you a lot in trying to read the Quran. So today we are going to learn about words with mud. Let's move on. So what is the mud letters? The mud letters is Alif, Waw, and Ya. Okay, if let's say there is Alif and the mark before Alif, the vowels is like Fatha, the letter that is having that Fatha will be affected. Okay, you have to recite it 2 harakat longs or 2 claps like this. So for example, this is Alif Med. So this is أنذرناكم. You see, I elongated on the word nakum because there's a little alif here, and before the alif there is the mark on top, which is fatha. So the letter that is going to be affected is the nun. So in this case, I elongated the na. Okay. Alright, now here there is alif, and before this alif there's a fatha. So what is the letter that is going to be affected is the waw, because the waw is below the fatha. So here I have to elongate the waw. So how do I read this is وكواعب وكواعب. I didn't say وكواعب, but it says وكواعب. Okay, now let's look at the waw mad. For the waw mad, you have to look that before this waw there is a damma. The damma mark that will be showing the letter below that will be affected. Okay, so the letter below the damma will be recited long. For example, there is a small little waw here, and before this small little waw there is a damma. So this letter waw itself is going to be affected and is going to be read long. Let's say this is Dawood. And remember, this alif and fatha also is affecting the da. So the da also I read it long. Okay, this is alif mad. And this is the waw mad. So Dawood. Now let's look at the second example. Here I can see the waw and the damma. So the waw, before the waw there is a damma. So what is affected is the letter ain, because the letter ain is just below the damma. So here the letter ain I have to recite it 2 harakat long. So this is how I read this. يسمعون. يسمعون. Now let's look at ya mad. For the ya mad, you have to look that before this ya mad you have to have the kasra. Okay, so any letters that is on the kasra, it will be affected to be recited long. For example, this is how the ya looks like. Okay, and before this ya mad it has a kasra, so the letter that is going to be affected is the alif. So in this case we read ilafihim, ilafihim. And if you remember this, why I read la also long, because this is the alif mad. Okay, how about the next example? This is damma, right? And you have to read it as yud. But in this case, I'm looking for the mad letters. So the mad letters for ya is, this is the ya, and before the ya, there is a kasra. Okay, so here I'm going to read rika. The ra is affected. So I have to elongate the ra. So here I will read yud rika, yud rika. I will not read yud rika. I will just yud rika. I hope you understand this. If not, please pause the video and try to repeat what I said, and also read all these words all over again, focusing on what has to be read long. So let's look at the letter of all the letters in Arabic together with the mad alif. Okay, so as you can see, this is like Hamza and Alif. Okay, I just put Hamza, I didn't put Alif together, just to make a differentiation for you to know that this will be sound okay, not just okay, like this Hamza and Alif. The Alif here is making the Hamza, the sound to be longer. Okay, so this is Adamu bi Ali. I didn't say bi Ali, but I said bi Ali. I elongated on the okay, this is Ra'a. This is ba Badia. I didn't say Badia. I said Badia. Okay, or you can say Badia. Okay, this is Tabaraka. I elongated on ba. Aba. Okay, actually this is a little bit, never mind. Later on, I will learn about Alif Maqsura and you will learn this kind of um looking like, yeah, but it's not. Okay, it's actually Alif Maqsura. Okay, here is the Taba Khitamuhu. Remember the who also has to be elongated because of the waw and the damma, apart from the ta because of the alif and fatha. Okay, this is ata fa thalithu mathaniya. Okay, the tha has to be elongated. Mathaniya untha. This is ja'atka. Okay, I make it a little bit longer for this because apart from having the mad alif on ja, it also has a little bit of line on top over here. Okay, but this again is tajwid rulings. It's a bit intense. Okay, and this is jahada, saja, ha, hajajtum, yuhadili, wa aslaha, kha, khadi'uhum, takhasumu, akha, dabira, jahadaka. Okay, this is you have to pronounce ja and da longer because of the alif, you see, and the fatha. And this is hada. Right, I want you to pause this video and try to repeat all this by yourself. Remember to focus on what has to be read long. You must read it long, okay? This is letter Zal, and this is still Alif Maqsura, okay? Even though it looks like Ya, but this is actually Alif Maqsura, okay? And this has to be read long also. So this is the معاذيره لذي. This is ريحكم يريد تجري زينتكم. Okay, this is نزيدكم نجازي. Okay, apart from this, what do you call it, alif maqsura, there's also like a little line here which is a bit curvy. So this is another tajwid rulings, okay, which I'm not going to touch, but just to note that this has to be, if you learn tajwid, this has to be even longer than 2 harakat, okay, because the alif maksura, okay, alif maksura together with this combination, so it's more double, okay. Okay, this is at, this is yusighuhu, and this is nafsi, and this is شيئته تشيع يخشي صي مخلصين اعصي دي ديزا معرضين أرضي يعطيك أرهطي حافظين. Pause the video and try to repeat all this by yourself. And guess what, you have read like 552 words all together in total. If you write these whole words again by yourself, it's 23 words actually over here, okay? So altogether you have read 552 words. Congratulations. عيسى ويعيد أقلعي غي وغيض ليغيظ أبتغي فيها يشفيني وتخفيني قيل تقيكم تبقي كي وأكيد وتشتكي لي سأصليه رسلي ميراث جاثمين ترميني يزنين يجيرني يهيج تشتهي. Okay, I hope you can pause the video and read it all yourself. And mashallah, you have read all together 576 words. Alhamdulillah. أوحي ويدرؤون ليسوء. Okay, as you see that I pronounce the su a bit longer than two harakat is because there is a waw mad. Okay, and on top of it, it has a little line over here. Okay, this little line is also another kind of rules in tajweed. Okay, it's also a mad, but different kinds of mad, and you have to read it like 2 plus 2, so it's 4 harakat long. Okay, but it's okay, this one is more advanced, right? So just take note on that. Okay, this is burika yahsabuna wa yal'abu tu'aduna wa ya'tukum wa yu'tu tub'athuna labithu yakhrujuna wa yarju حوتهما ناصحون فتحوا. This is خو. Okay, نخوض دونه تفقدون ليشهدوا. I hope that you can pause the video and try to repeat all this by yourself. Remember to read whatever that has to be elongated, precise on it, okay? This is ذو لحافظين ويحفظوا عوقب يدعون تدعو غو ويبغون لتبلغوا فو وفومها ويحلفون وأوفوا قولوا يعقوب ليذوقوا كوني ليكون أشكو يا لوط جلودي قالوا موسى ثمود تعلموا. Alright, I want you to pause the video and try to read this yourself. Please focus on what has to be elongated, yeah? Okay, this is no, nuru, tuhsinuna, kanu, hu, yahudu, ya'mahuna, karihu, wu, wuriya, dawudu, telu. Okay, I make it a bit long. As you know, this is it's also a med, and alright, this is wow med. Alright, so together combination is a little bit like 4 harakat longer. Okay, this is you, Yusufu, Buyuti. Alright, so you completed all the wow med. Right, so let's move on. Let's repeat the following words carefully. I will try to read it slowly, alright? Read it together with me, okay? يداه تتبعها طغى بينهما يا ليتني أتاك ناداه ليلها وعصى إلى فأراه بناها ولأنعامكم يتلو يسعى أرساها ومرعاها يرونها تعامه مرساها وأبيه منها لمردودون أحوى ترهقها فيه صاحبكم كاتبين لحافظين بقول إبراهيم داود في فذوقوا إلافهم. Okay, try to repeat this yourself. Okay, pause the video and try to read it yourself. You know what? Congratulations, you have read 35 words from the following letters, words, okay? And your total is 664 words throughout the lesson that you have read with me. Alhamdulillah. So Hamza is a very complex issue, okay? The first ruling about Hamza is Hamzatul Wasl and what it means by that. Okay, Hamzatul Wasl means like the first rule of it is skipping. Okay, so what it means by that, let's say, okay, this is Hamzatul Wasl. Okay, anything that you see Alif with something like that, this is called Hamzatul Wasl. So for example, if let's say I don't have this bed is not there, how am I going to read this? This is going to be read as ismi. But because there is letter before the Hamzatul Wasl, okay, there is a letter before Hamzatul Wasl, so I'm going to read bismi. That means I skipped the Hamzatul Wasl. I didn't read it. Got it? So the same here. This is lam and Hamzatul Wasl, right? So if there isn't any lam, I'm going to read this as ibnihi. But because there's lam, so I'm going to skip the sound of the Hamzatul Wasl and I'm going to read this as لِبْنِهِ. The same for all this. Okay, so let's read this together. وَبَنَاهَا فَاتِّبَاعٌ فَبَعَثُوا فَاتَّخَذَا فَادَّارَأْتُمْ وَانْهَارَ لَاتَّبَعْتُمُ وَاتْلُوا وَامْرَأَتُهُ وَاسْجُدْ وَاسْتَغْفِرْهُ أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. Okay, I want you to pause the video and try to read all these letters by yourself. Read it out loud. Okay, we have learned a lot from this lesson to lesson 6, and I believe that you are now ready to read the ayat from the Quran, not just words from the Quran. So I have extracted and print screen some of the verses, okay, the ayat from the Quran for us to read. So if you notice also, I've underlined certain words because these are the words that we have learned today, like the mad. This is the Alif mad, right? The Waw mad, okay, and the Ya mad, for example, the Ya mad, and also Hamzatul Wasl. If you notice that every ayah has Hamzatul Wasl. This is Hamzatul Wasl here, in here, here, here. There's two Hamzatul Wasl here, one here and one here. And also this has two, okay? One is here and one is here. So let's read this together. I will try to read it slowly. Let's read with me. قل يا أيها الكافرون قالوا الآن قال لا ينال عهد الظالمين لصال الجحيم فلا اقتحم العقبة إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى. You may pause the video and try to read this all over again by yourself till you are confident to read this ayat. So now let's look at the second rule of Hamzatul Wasl. Okay, over here, if you see that this is the first letter of Hamzatul Wasl, is the first letter, followed by Ba, which is the second letter, and Ta is the third letter. So Ta has a damma on top of it, right? The third letter of Ta has a damma on it. So because the third letter has a damma, Hamzatul Wasl will also be read as damma. Okay, so here it's read as Ubtuliya. Okay, here the third letter is Lam, and Lam has a damma. So Hamzatul Wasl will read as Utlu. This is Ujtuthat. Shuru. Ukhruj. Udkhuli. Udhkur. Urqud. Ustahfidhu. Ushdud. Udturu. U'budu. Ukhdu. Uqnuti. Unqus. Umkuthu. Uq'udu. Unshuzu. Unsurni. Unzur. Okay, so I hope you got this. Please pause the video and try to read all this by yourself. Okay, so now we are going to read ayat, okay, verse from the Quran. Are you ready for it? Okay, I will read first. Try to listen and then try to read it with me, okay? Together. Okay, I will point it. This is نكال الآخرة والأولى. Pause the video and you can try to read this yourself. Let's go on to the next. وذكر اسم ربه فصلى. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. فالمدبرات أمرا. Okay, usually in Quran, if you see like that, it's actually like a stop. Okay, so instead of saying amran, even though there is tanween here, when you stop, you say amra. Okay. Okay, let me read this again, right, for you. فالمدبرات أمرا. Okay. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. Okay, the next one. أولئك هم الكفرة الفجرة. Alright, just for your information, in Quran, if there's a stop here, you said fajarah. Okay, you don't need to say, you don't need to say the two, okay, unless you want to join with another verse next to it, okay. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. Okay, let's move on to the next one. إذ انبعث أشقاها. Okay, if you can see that there's a meme here, so this is again like tajweed rulings, okay. Even though it's noon here, but you like them, you like, how do I say it? You like munch your own lips, okay? Bite your own lips, I guess. Them like that. Them. Yeah, but it's best for tajweed. It's best that you meet a teacher live so that they can show you the lips movements and the mouth movements, all this, okay? So pause the video and try to read this yourself. فأراه الآية الكبرى. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. بالوادي المقدس. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. فادخلي في عبادي. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. وبرزت الجحيم. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. ولقد رآه بالأفق المبين. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. أساطير الأولين. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. كتاب الأبرار. Pause the video and try to read this yourself. Okay, I want you to read everything all over again, by yourself. Try to pause the video. Ensure that you can read it confidently and fluently before you try to move on to the next lesson, okay? Okay, for this lesson, I want you to know there are actually 5 words in the Quran that has Hamzatul Wasl, but it doesn't read with damma, okay? Even the third word has, what do you call it, damma on it, okay? So just remember that these 5 words, only these 5 words in the Quran, okay, it has damma on the third letter, has a damma, the third letter has a damma, but the Hamzatul Wasl is read by kasra, not by damma, okay? So take note on these 5 letters, okay? So starting from this, instead of saying uttaqu, okay, this is read as ittaqu, even though the third letter is damma. Alright, so just take note of these 5 words, okay? Here it is ittaqu, iqdu, i'tuni, ibnu, imshu. Okay, so take note of these 5 letters. If you came across these 5 letters in the Quran, remember these are the 5 words that are special, that even though the third letter is with Dhamma, but the Hamzatul Wasl will not read it as Dhamma, but will read it as Kasra. Alright, pause the video and read this again. Okay, this is quite important. It's about Hamzatul Wasl that is preceded by mad letter. The letter preceding the mad letter is directly connected to the letter that follows Hamzatul Wasl. What it means by that? Okay, for example, this is Hamzatul Wasl. Okay, and the letter before Hamzatul Wasl is the mad, Alif mad, like Alif and the. Okay, and there's a fatha, so the has to be elongated. But because of this, there's Hamzatul Wasl here is going to join with the next letter of Hamzatul Wasl, which is lam here. Okay, so this is wa idhal biharu. Okay, it's joined with the letter that is after the Hamzatul Wasl. Wa idhal biharu. Okay, the same as this. Okay, this is Hamzatul Wasl, and this is the Alif Mad with fatha. So the dhal has to be elongated, right? In this case, you have to join the next letter after Hamzatul Wasl, which is lam. But this lam becomes silent because the sin here is Alif Lam Shamsiya. So it's okay, you will learn about this later on, but just to read this is إِذَا السَّمَاءُ. Okay, and how about this? This is Hamzatul Wasl. So before Hamzatul Wasl, there is Mad Alif that makes the head to be long. So here you read Ya ayyuhal insanu. Okay, you make the head join with the lam. And the same here. The dhal and alif is the mad, right? And the wasl is here, so it's going to join idak talu, idak talu. Okay, because of after the letter hamzatul wasl is the kaf. Alright, so that's about all for hamzatul wasl joining. Okay, let's see what lam al-Qamariya means. Okay, look at the moon here. Okay, in Arabic, Qamar means moon. Okay, the word Qamar. So these letters, Alif, Ba, Jim, Ha, Kha, Ain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf, Kaf, Mim, Waw, Ha, and Ya. It's like the moon. Okay, it's like the moon. Okay, you love to see the moon, right? We all love to see the moon. So do lamb. Lamb also loves to see the moon. Okay, so it will not hide from the moon. So look at these examples. Okay, for example, after the word lamb is ba. Okay, ba is the letters of al-Qamariya. Okay, so lam will not shy itself to pronounce the word al when it goes with ba. Okay, so that's the reason why al will be so clear in pronunciation. So you pronounce it as al-bahr. Okay, the same for letter kha. Kha is also belonging to the group of lam al-Qamariya. Okay, so lam will be happy to pronounce itself to look at the moon together. Okay, so this is al-Kharif. Okay, so the same as for letter kaf. Kaf is also belonging to the lam al-Qamariya. So again, lam will not hide from it. So lam will be clearly pronounced al-kitab. Okay, and so is ha. Is it the letter ha? This is the letter ha. Okay, lam is happy to go together with letter ha to see the moon together. You will not shy away, okay? Because ha is a moon, okay? Okay, like a moon, okay? So you will not hide from it. So you will pronounce very clearly the word lam. Al-hawa, okay? And so is letter ya, as you can see. So again, letter ya is like Qamariya, is like the moon, okay? So al, okay, we pronounce this as al-yambu', okay? Al will be so clear. So I hope you understand that for Al-Qamariya, it's like the moon, and the lam will not be shy away to clearly pronounce the lam. Okay, let's look at another uh, another thing, which is another thing that you'll learn. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, now let's look at lam ash-Shamsiya, what it means. The word shams is meaning sun in Arabic. Okay, so these are the letter that belongs to the shams, to the sun. Okay, so they are ta, tha, dal, zal, ra, zay, sin, shin, sod, dot, to, tho, lam, and nun. So when there is a letter of this sign, the lam will run away. They do not want to pronounce it because it's too hot. Okay, it's too heaty for them. So they, in this letter, for example, is the letter dot. Dot belongs to the letter of Ash-Shamsiya, right? So lam will shy away. They will not pronounce it, but dot will be powerful enough to just louden it. Okay, so alif straight away go to dot. Lam will be silent. So here, how to pronounce this is ad-dhabi, ad-dhabi. Okay, the same as letter shin. It belongs to also, you know, the sun. Okay, so you pronounce this as shams. Okay, like shams is sun. Okay, so the lam is silent, and here sword also is very powerful. So lam becomes silent and shy away. It's too heaty, so don't pronounce the lam. So it is as soft. Okay, and the same as the letter nun. Okay, it belongs to lam ashamsiya. So the lam will shy away, and so you don't pronounce the lam. So it says an-na'am. Okay, and the same for here. Ra is also the letter of Ash-Shamsiya. So you don't pronounce the lam, and it says Arab. Okay, so I hope you get to understand what's the difference between lam al-Qamariya and lam Ash-Shamsiya. Okay, when to pronounce the lam and when not to pronounce the lam. Alright? Okay, I wanted to give you tips if you love to read the Quran online or on your mobile. Okay, you can download or even go to recitequran.com, right? It's a very good online Quran where there are colors in it. And what I mean by colors, I'll show it to you, okay? You know that you have read all the 6 lessons. Can you read this? I'll point it to you and read this yourself. Let's try. Did you get it? Yeah, this is Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, as you can see, there is a blue color highlighted, okay, telling you that this is Alif Mad, this is Ya Mad, and you have to elongate it. The Ma, the Him, right? The same for this, you see? The A, Min, right? So these are very good where there's colors to remind you that, oh, these are the words that I have to elongate it because of the mad, right? and so on. Can you read this? Do you remember this? This is what? Okay, remember this is Hamza al-Wasl, and hence this is what? You read the third word. Okay, in case you remember that this is what? This is lam al-Qamariya, right? So this is alhamd. Lam is very clear. Okay, and how about this? This is Hamza al-Wasl and followed by Ra, the lam here and a Ra. And you see even here the lam is like gray color, so you know that, you know, maybe if you still are unclear about the harf or the letters of Al-Qamariya and Ash-Shamsiya, you know that why is this lam not black in color but it's like, you know, uh, gray in color, because the lam is silent, because this Ra is the letter of Shamsiya, right? So you don't pronounce lam, you just say Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, okay? Even the ma, the alif mat, and the ya mat to elongated it, right? So that's the reason I said it's good if you can go to recitequran.com and try to, you know, read this page by page at least, alright? Especially this month of Ramadan, try to take your initiative to come and read the Quran. Inshallah ta'ala grants us a lot of ajr. Yes, it has chapter over here, like Al-Fatiha, Al-Baqarah, and so on, right?